this is Johnny from Unleashed, and you're listening to that metal interview.
That metal interview.
So, where are you? That's the first question.
Oh, I'm really at home in my house in Sweden. So, yeah.
Sweden. Wow. How's the weather up there?
Well, it's actually amazing. You know, if you live in Sweden, you'll be pretty fucking happy to have like summer 5 weeks a year. So, you know, I should probably be at the beach or something. But
right.
no, but it's really it's strange. We had a really good summer this year. I mean, it's been for I could probably count to like 6 weeks of pure summer now, and it's ridiculously amazing. So,
wow.
Yeah, with Swedish measures, that's absolutely stunning. Unfortunately.
I'm in Texas, so we're burning over here, basically.
Right.
We're burning up in the sun over here, so pretty bad.
Oh, I'm guessing, yeah, man. Yeah, when I was in Texas many times, and it was the same, and it's like, that's actually hot. And we cannot compare, I can tell you that.
So, how was Hellfest? You guys just did that, right?
Yeah, man, it was great. It's great. Hellfest always good. We played it many times in the past, and it's always the same. It's absolutely amazing, and meet a lot of people and drink a lot of beers, and you know, had a great time. So yeah, killer.
Do you guys rehearse before these shows, or are you guys pretty much tight?
Well, it depends on. I mean, when we played Hellfest, I think we practiced like just the day before. But if we play like every weekend, then we don't need to practice at all. So it depends on if there's like 3 weeks, then maybe it's a good thing to go, you know, get together and have a go at it. But as long as we're doing now, we're gonna play like every weekend until like mid-November or something. Yeah. So there's very little point in practicing, and it's just we're using almost the same set list. We have a set list that is like maybe 16, 17 songs, and if you play for an hour, that would normally be like 12, 13 songs. So we just alternate whatever we need to do on that specific show. So,
how many new tracks are you guys including on this run?
I think that's actually not exactly decided yet, but it seems like at least 3, depending on which festival, etc., and depending also how much time we have. Because I mean, normally we play an hour. That's like the norm. But sometimes there's 50 minutes, and sometimes it's an hour and 15, and sometimes it's 45. It really depends on. So it has to depend on how much time we have, because we have to play some older stuff too. So
exactly, you got to do the standards, the fan favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We yeah. I mean, 15 records. It's obviously impossible. You can't even pick one from each album, and that's not even, you know, because if you play an hour, that's too many songs. So yeah, you have to choose a bit for sure. Yeah,
that's a task right there. I ask a lot of artists, yes, yourself, building a set list for the show must be a nightmare, huh?
It is, man, and it's probably the same, like you said, for every band. You gotta, at some point, you have to agree on whatever the hell you're gonna do, because you can't go on forever and you know, trying to make your voice out loud and you know, have it your way. You have to compromise somehow, and we try and figure out what would the you know, people out there want to hear, and you know, you got to have some kind of midway, I guess, some balance to it as well, old and new stuff, and yeah.
Before we get into your new album, Johnny, Fire Upon Your Lands, how do you maintain the same lineup, Unleashed, as basically being the same band for the Frederick must be the new guy since about 30 years ago, huh?
Yeah, man. We you know what? We actually call him still the new guy. You know? and it's fun every time we do it. You know, it's a good laugh. Yeah. Well, I would say there are 3 things in general. Like first of all, you have to be good friends, or it will actually crash. I mean, everybody knows that. Yeah. If you're not good friends in the band, and you can't, it's not gonna last. It's period. That's it. I'd say secondly, we agreed like day one, like late 80s, what the hell Unleashed is gonna be about. Yeah. You know, what kind of music are we gonna play? And also what music are we not gonna play? Because that's probably even more important. It's easy to say, yeah, we're gonna play death metal, but also what the hell are we not going to do? Because that's normally the battle, you know.
Yeah.
If you swap band members, that could be a battle for sure. We haven't really swapped a lot of band members, like you said. It's like one Frederick, but anyway, yeah, maybe we switch one Frederick like every 23 years or so. But yeah, that's it. We agreed that you can play any style of music you like, but not in Unleashed, and it's as simple as that. We will always try to develop and get better and try some new things, etc. But the roots have to be there. Otherwise, it's not Unleashed anymore.
Right. Exactly.
I would say, thirdly, we have had years ago now, but we had a really good talk about this, especially in the 90s, that if you're in this band, you have to help out with all things Unleashed, and I think we do. I think we kind of we have that respect for each other, that we actually understand that Unleashed is not a one-man show, and it never will be. That's not the band. That's not what we are. And so that means you have to help out, because, well, there are not a lot of death metal bands that are as big as fucking AC/DC, and you know that's probably never going to happen. So that means you're not going to get paid. You have to enjoy it. You have to like what you do, and you have to work on it. And it's not a matter of I don't have the time or I have another priority. Well, no, sorry. If you're in Unleashed, then you have to do your share, and everybody does. And there's really very little complaining. So I guess these are the things that helps us going. I guess and it's working out well.
For sure, it's we can see the results. So you guys are well known. You're one of the innovators for the death metal scene, especially the side of the lyrics on the term of Viking history and all that, and Scandinavian stuff. You guys are pioneers for that, for sure. So we can see the results. Awesome work.
Thank you.
August 15th, just around the corner here, you got a brand new album. 15th, you said, Fire Upon Your Lands. The dumb question is, are you excited?
Oh yeah. It's very, very. I've been talking to journalists, of course, for quite some time now, but you never really know until you're on that show, and you can see people's eyes, and you can see what they actually feel about the new songs, if they scream along, and if they sweat, and if they fucking if they bang heads. And I think that's exactly what you want to do if you're a musician. At least that's how it is for me. So I'm really looking out for going out and play the new songs and see what people think about it. So yeah, very exciting times.
You mentioned headbanging fans, of course. Do you think of the live feel for the new songs when you guys are building and writing songs, or do you just write riffs and make lyrics up to whatever's coming out? Do you think of the live feel as what's a fan gonna think of it?
Well, that's actually something that I used to talk about in the band, but I think we've found a way that it's not really. I mean, in the early stages of when you're creating music and lyrics, it's kind of hard to also put that into perspective, because you don't exactly know what the song is gonna be when it's done. I mean, there are many things that can change the song. And so it's hard to say that, okay, let's make a song that's absolutely amazing live, because there's so many things that you have to consider. I mean, we sometimes we put a song like that, like let's say we take a song that we want to have as the number one song on the set list, and we played the show, and everybody felt like, yeah, that was okay, but that's not good enough, man. That's not good enough. If you want to have a song that's going to be live, then you want that song to be a live song, and we don't really know that when we create the music. We can't. It's just. I would say I actually did put that in my mind when I created music back in the early '90s, but it doesn't work that way anymore. So what we do is we just make the album and make the songs, and there's never really a problem in picking a number of songs for the set list anyway, because it is what it is, and we'll take the songs that we agree on, and it's never going to be all of the songs anyway. So if there are like a few songs that you really doesn't feel good live for some reason, then well, that's okay. That's okay.
So what's behind the title, Johnny? who came up with the title, and what does that mean? Fire upon your lands.
Sure. Well, first of all, we've done the lyrical side of things. Here is a storyline from a book I wrote many years ago, and I'm not going to say I actually did write it because it's not finished. It was never published, but it was a long time ago, and it was a big ass story. I mean, me and a friend worked on it like fucking idiots. The problem is that we underestimated the time it took to finish it, and so I doubt we will be able to do it. But it was a big work, and what we've done is that we took like the chapters now into years ago we took the chapters and made them into songs for Unleashed, because it was mostly about the same topics that we wrote lyrics about anyway in Unleashed. So I guess that made the book come to some kind of use, and I kind of introduced that to the band, and they said, well, let's try, and we keep on trying, I guess, because it's the sixth consecutive album now, and people seem to really enjoy it, and yeah. So the basic storyline of the World of Odelheim, which is the name of the book, was that the Midgard warriors fight for their way of life against the main enemy, White Christ. That's pretty much the basic of the story. And so that's continuing now on this album too. But back to your question, the Fire Upon Your Lands is really the album cover artwork is really an event in this storyline of this album. So you can find, for example, you see 4 dead enemy soldiers on the front cover, and really, if you put the events on the album into some kind of perspective, where if you want to, like, let's say, shrink it down to like a very short message, the Midgard warriors fight against White Christ is really because White Christ's enemies have destroyed much of what was dear to them back in Sweden, present-day Sweden. Now, in the storyline, that means they would take revenge, right? And they have to kill White Christ in order to have a decent life. Now, this is a future story, I should say. So, Fire Upon Your Lands means really, like, you can come to my place and kill and do all kinds of bullshit, and you know, this could be your everyday life as well. But you have to understand that I'm going to do the same to you, and that means really that I'm going to bring fire upon your lands. So that's the short version.
Wow, that's super interesting. Awesome. Wow, that's awesome. So before writing a lyric or a riff, Johnny, do you guys talk about the direction of the record, what you guys want? You know what, let's not make it as heavy as this album, or let's do this, don't do that. Do you guys talk about it, or you just do what you do?
Well, I'd say a little bit, but not too much. And the reason being that we've been together for such a long time, and we already know. I mean, Fredrik makes the music and I make the lyrics these days. It was pretty much I did a lot of music in the 90s, obviously, but now Fredrik makes all of it. And what happens is that he sends me a couple of songs and I start working on them. I do the vocal melodies, and then I do the lyrics, of course. And we don't seem to be in the need of much, let's say, strangeness to that, because it's a formula, let's say, of creating music and lyrics and producing it that we've been using for such a long time. And to be frank, Fredrik wouldn't create 15 songs and send them to me and have me saying, well, I like half of them. You know? He knows already what I like, and he knows Anders. He knows what Anders likes, and he knows what Thomas likes. And so it's the same with me and my lyrics. I mean, I'm not gonna take a chance on writing crazy stuff and send it to them and having them go, Johnny, for fuck's sake, you can't write anymore. You know, it's just, right. What the hell is this? You know, so that really never happens. I mean, of course we gotta change things a little bit here and there. Yeah. Maybe the end of a song gets longer than I thought it would, and maybe it stops earlier, or maybe a chorus gets longer, and whatnot. And somebody says, well, the lyrics could, this chorus could perhaps evolve into one more line of something. That's just normal. That's your normal procedure. But generally, there are very, very few things that we need to discuss before we start a new creative process, so to speak.
Now, as far as your voice, studio-wise and live performance, how do you prepare your voice to sound like that? Is there exercises before you record or go on stage, or do you just go up there and do your thing? Like I heard Ronnie James Dio did that. He just went up there and did what he did. What do you do?
Yeah, and he was a real vocalist, so no, but I really, it's the same. I just go up and do it. There's no hidden message or no special preparations. Or I thought about that like long ago. Maybe I should learn a bunch of things about vocals and learn how to prepare the voice in some special manner. But then on the other hand, well, how about 37 years and it still works? I don't see I don't see the need now.
Yeah.
Although I will admit that I am missing out on something. I have no idea, but it feels like it works, and I have really been working on getting better at performing the vocals, especially in studio, because in studio you can do a lot more things than you can do live, and like especially on the vocal melody side of things, so that it becomes a little bit more dynamic. Because death metal is intensive music, and you want to.
Yes.
At least we want to make it a little bit more dynamic, and the vocals have to be able to handle that, of course. So,
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Yeah.
Well, you sounded great. So whatever you're doing, whatever regiment, you're doing the right thing. So awesome. Yes, congrats.
Thanks a lot.
As far as your bass playing, Johnny, before writing the parts for a new record, do you just follow the rhythm guitar, or do you like to do a couple of arrangements and walk around a bit around the rhythm part?
Well, Fredrik is creating the bass lines too, actually. So
Okay.
I just play whatever he wants me to play. So that's how it works. Yeah, so he creates all the guitar lines and all the bass lines. And normally he has a proposal for Anders how to play the drums, and Anders would say, "Oh no, I'm going to do it this way," And so that's pretty much how it works. But normally we have a very, let's say, easy cooperation around that, because again, we've been doing it for so many years, and like there are very few surprises, which I think is good, because you don't have to waste a bunch of time in arguing about bullshit. So it really is a good. I really enjoy this way of making music. That way you can spend more time in actually creating the melody lines for the vocals, for example, and see if, and I guess Freddie can also spend more time in developing his guitar melodies and whatever, instead of like constant arguing about what is unleashed and what is not unleashed, because that's how it is when you form the band. Then those are the arguments every musician have when you start a band. Like first couple of albums, it's going to be a constant battle of what exactly is this band about.
Right.
What should it sound like? And so but we passed all that many years ago. So
Wow, you said the genre that everybody knows, Unleashed. So that's cool. You guys invented something years ago.
yeah, I think at least we were pretty early in Sweden, but of course we weren't the first playing death metal. But I think maybe we introduced the Viking tradition into death metal pretty early. Obviously, there were heavy metal bands doing it before us, but yeah, and Bathory was before us as well in black metal. So yeah.
Okay.
But cool. Yeah.
Are you 100% satisfied with the mix and the production of this album and the arrangements, the song selection, or do you wish you could go backwards and fix something?
No, I'm actually very happy with it. We I would say that's the perk of having your own studio, and the fantasticness of actually working digitally in the creative process is that you have so many chances to change things, that if you haven't already, then I mean, I'd be stupid to bring something out there that I'm not 100% happy with.
Right.
So because I mean, it was a lot of difference back in the day, because I mean, what have you, 7 days in the studio, and that's that. That was just that was rough, man. for being a musician, it must have been the same for all bands. Like going into the studio, and you had like a very tight schedule, because every damn hour cost a fortune. And now Fredrik has his own studio, obviously, and so for us, it's just I think it's amazing that's something good that happened with all the digital era, I would say, for us as musicians. Yeah,
that's true. You were there with the tapes and back in the not the digital, but the what's it called, the tapes, ADATs and
exactly, the big exactly. I don't even know what the word is for that, but tapes for sure, like big tapes, and these were the days, and I think some good times, of course, but they were more expensive for sure.
I think the word I'm looking for is analog, right? But which do you prefer? Do you prefer the digital stuff nowadays with Pro Sound and all that, or do you prefer the analog stuff with the tapes?
Well, I do prefer it nowadays because, like I said, it's so much easier to work with, and it's just on an earlier stage where you don't have to travel for hours to go to a practice room and figure out what the rehearsal is going to sound like, so we can put together something that I seriously, I actually do sing straight into my iPhone to when the music is almost ready. I sing through my iPhone just to put the vocals on it, and it will actually sound better, but almost like a back in the day rehearsal, where you put that fucking tape in the practice room on rec and play and fucking recorded it, and it sounded absolutely well. I'm not gonna utter the word for it, but it was, normally it was too loud, it was just and the tape recorder couldn't handle it. So that's easier today, and I'd say the process and everything is just better, man. It's just better
for sure.
And by the way, you don't really have to sound like a 2025 digital AI something. You can still make an authentic and unique sound, that the sound that you always had. I mean, that's possible even today. So if you really don't want to develop your sound at all, you can probably still sound the same as 25 years ago.
Right. True. Very true. How do you listen to music, Johnny? Streaming, Spotify, Apple Music, or do you prefer vinyl, cassette, CD?
Well, I'd say all of the above. I mean, I prefer. It depends on. Obviously, if I drive my car and I listen to Spotify, it's more simple. If I'm at work, I'd say I put the iTunes on. I listen to some, well, actually a lot of American radio. Now, and if I have a party, I'd love to put, records on the turntable, and I actually do cassettes sometimes as well, believe that or not. And I have a lot on CD. I just put that on and fucking, so I think I do all of it, really. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I saw your schedule, and a lot of festivals, and most of them, I want to say, are you guys are headlining. How does that feel, Johnny? After years and years, most of your schedule, it looks like you're headlining a bunch of stuff here.
Well, I would say we've like for many years now, we've been doing like both. Sometimes you're the support act, and sometimes you're the headlining act. It depends on what type of festival, and if there's a show, a single show, or it really depends on. And I would say it's not normally Unleashed that decides. It's the promoter. Yeah. And it's probably the same for every band. The promoter says, okay, here's how it's going to be, and you can either accept that or you can escape. So it is what it is, and you can always say no. I mean, obviously, but that's it's cool. I mean, I like to do both, because if you're the headlining act, you have a little bit more things that you can control, and that's normally the best deal you can have, of course. But you also want to play as a support act and play for perhaps for people that normally may not go and see you. So that's good too.
Speaking of control, does Napalm, the label, do they give you ideas or tell you not to do this, do that? We don't like this track, go back and make another one. Or do you guys basically have the liberty, the freedom to record and turn in whatever you guys feel?
Yeah, we do. They never tell us what to do, and they have I would say we have a great cooperation that way, because they know that we know best what Unleashed should be all about. And when it comes to some artwork or some T-shirt, or maybe they would come with some ideas and we talk about that, but it works out really, really well. So yeah, really good. And they leave us alone when it comes to the creative side of things. So that's really good. I
noticed you've never had a side project. Why is that? Or are you just your plate is full with Unleashed, or why is that?
Yeah, for sure. I that's true. And it's exactly like that. I don't really have a lot of time to. I mean, I have other stuff that I do as well outside of Unleashed, and I'd say that takes a lot of time too. But as for music and lyrics, that's very, very much enough for me to work with Unleashed. That's I can't see myself doing well. At least I can't do anything creative for another band because I don't have the time for that. So
yeah, your plate's full. Yeah. What's next on your agenda, Johnny? I know you got other plans and interviews. What's next on your agenda as far as the band or your personal life? What's going on here?
Yeah, we're going to where is it? Summer Breeze in 2 days. Summer Breeze Festival in Germany. So that's on Friday. It's the actual day of the release of the new album. So really looking forward to that, of course. And then we just keep on going. We play pretty much every weekend. I would say until like mid-November or something like that. So we have a lot of things booked, and it looks well. It looks really good, and it's going to continue into 2026. But I would say we probably have some rest in December, a bit of January as well, and have some family time there. But yeah. So it's looking really good. Excited to see what people think about the new album, of course.
It's awesome, but with the stuff we've heard so far, the singles are. Just awesome stuff. So keep up the good work. And you guys did a couple of shows in the U.S. Sometime earlier. Are there any plans for it to come back?
Yeah, man. We did play the Maryland Death Fest in May, and we have now what we booked now is the Metal Thread Festival in Chicago. So that's what is the 5th of October, I think. Yeah. So that's the one we plan now, and hopefully we can book some more as time goes by, and I really hope so. There are for sure many more cities to play, but we don't seem to do it like the 5-week touring anymore. So we need to kind of cherry pick a little bit, I guess, in order to stay hungry and get things going and last for a long time.
Right.
So, but that's cool. We're coming back to you as we always do. So yeah.
Awesome. So thank you for your time, Johnny. Fire upon your lands. For people listening, August 15th, Napalm Unleashed. Thank you, Johnny. Hopefully we'll catch you sometimes in Texas sometime soon.
For sure, man. Looking forward to seeing you come to the U.S. sometime. And thanks a lot for the chat, man. It's been good.
Same here. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Johnny.
Take care.
And there you had it. Johnny Hedlund, frontman for the legendary band from Sweden, Unleashed. Who does not know Unleashed? And they are credited to be one of the first death metal bands to write songs about Viking, Scandinavian history, and heritage instead of just typical subjects like death and gore. So congrats to them for bringing on the world of Scandinavian lyrics and Viking lore and all that stuff. So you're talking about 1990 for those of you that know the history of death metal. And August 15th dropped their 15th album, Fire Upon Your Lands, Unleashed, for you guys, and support the guys. Download the album, purchase it, contact their label Napalm Records, or through their website, check out Fire Upon Your Lands at your reach at this time. So check it out. 11 awesome tracks. And thank you, Johnny, for making time and being part of the podcast. Thank you guys for downloading the show, supporting, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, and ringing the bell for notifications. On behalf of your friend James, all the way from the state of Texas, in the US of A. Don't forget to keep it metal.